Welcome to Whisper Tales, where every whisper hides a nightmare. 99% of you guys are just watching but not subscribing. If you love spine-chilling horror stories that keep you up at night, then hit subscribe and join our dark journey, because the next tale might be about you.
The voicemail came at 11:57 p.m. Liam Mathers was brushing his teeth when his phone buzzed, skittering slightly across the porcelain sink. He spat, wiped his mouth, and glanced at the screen. Unknown number. One new voicemail. He frowned. He rarely got calls from numbers not in his contacts. He never answered them, and certainly not this late. Curious, he tapped play. No matter what happens, do not answer the knock after midnight. The voice was male, hoarse, and urgent. It sounded like someone out of breath or terrified. A short pause followed, then a click. Liam stood there, toothbrush still dripping foam in the sink. His mind scrambled to place the voice. No recognition. Not a prank call either. There was too much weight in the delivery. The kind of voice that had seen something terrible. He replayed it. No matter what happens, do not answer the knock after midnight. That was it. No name, no warning, no explanation. He checked the call log. No location. The number wasn't even fully visible. Just plus 00-0000. Not a real country code. His eyes flicked to the time. 11:59 p.m. Just a weird coincidence, he told himself. A wrong number. A drunk conspiracy theorist. Still, the words clung to him. Liam turned on every light in the apartment before going to bed. He lived alone in a modest second-story flat in Riverview, a sleepy suburb, an hour outside Chicago. 2 bedrooms, a dated kitchen, and a wraparound hallway with creaky wood floors. Quiet neighbors, dull life. Perfect for someone like him, a freelance software engineer who preferred clean code and caffeine over chaos. His only real excitement came from horror movies and a once-a-week bar trivia night. But tonight, even his favorite slasher flicks couldn't distract him. He sat in bed, eyes flicking toward the hallway every few minutes. He stayed awake until 12:30 a.m., then finally let himself drift off. Knock. Liam bolted upright. The room was pitch black. He grabbed his phone. 12:02 a.m. Another knock, knock, knock. This time, it was unmistakable. 3 hard raps on his front door. Measured. Intentional. His stomach turned cold. He padded silently to the living room and looked at the door. Through the peephole, he saw nothing. Just the empty hallway. He didn't open it. Didn't even breathe. The knocks didn't come again. In the morning, he laughed it off. Almost. He chalked it up to suggestion, his brain connecting the eerie voicemail with an ordinary noise in the building. Maybe a neighbor, maybe the pipes. Still, something kept him from deleting the voicemail. And that night, when the clock crept past 11 p.m., his chest began to tighten again. 11:58 p.m. Another buzz. Voicemail. Unknown number. His skin prickled as he picked up the phone. This one was different. You didn't open it. That's good. That's good. But it knows you heard it now. It'll try again. It gets louder. Just remember, you can't let it in. Not ever. Then silence. Liam dropped the phone onto the bed like it had burned him. What the hell was happening? He checked his apartment door again. Locked. Deadbolt turned. Chain across. He closed every window. Sat in the living room with a baseball bat in his lap. 12 a.m. Nothing. 12:01. Still nothing. Then, boom, boom, boom. Not a knock, a pounding. He leapt up. 3 massive thuds echoed through the apartment, shaking picture frames on the wall. Liam backed away from the door. He grabbed his phone, started recording. "Who's there?" he called out. No answer. Look, if this is some sick prank, I'm calling the cops. Silence. Then, one final thud, like something slamming into the door with its full weight. Then it stopped. He didn't sleep. The next morning, he checked the recording. The thuds were there. But when he looked at the video, no sound, just silence. Even the background hum of the refrigerator was gone. Liam stared at the screen. He replayed the moment again. Nothing. The file was 47 seconds long, but entirely mute. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. New voicemail. It's testing you now. Testing the boundaries. It's stronger if you fear it. That's how it gets in. That's how it starts to speak. You can't speak to it. You can't open the door, even if it sounds like someone you know. Liam dropped the phone. The voice this time. Still urgent, but now tinged with something else. Despair. He backed away from the phone like it might ring again. That night, he didn't wait in the living room. He barricaded the front door with furniture, coffee table, desk chair, even his vacuum, piled high. Then he closed himself in his bedroom and turned up music in his headphones. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to feel it. He forced himself to fall asleep before midnight. It worked, or so he thought. 3:19 a.m. Liam awoke to the sound of knocking, but not from the front door. It was coming from the hallway, inside. He sat up, heart racing, drenched in cold sweat. 3 knocks. Then footsteps. Slow, heavy footsteps. Moving toward his bedroom door. His mouth went dry. He grabbed the baseball bat again, tiptoed to the bedroom door, and pressed his ear against it. Nothing. No movement. No breathing. He flung the door open. The hallway was empty. He checked every room. No sign of a break-in. No open windows. No forced entry. Just silence. And something else. His phone was in the kitchen. Another voicemail had arrived. 3:22 a.m. unknown number. You slept through it. That's not good. It came in another way. It knows you're weakening. The rule still stands. Do not answer. Not after midnight. Even if it sounds like your own voice. Especially then. By the 4th night, Liam didn't leave his room at all. He locked the door from the inside, barricaded it, and kept the lights on. He didn't care how irrational it seemed. He didn't care that he hadn't eaten properly in 2 days, or that his eyes were ringed with exhaustion. All he could hear were those knocks, over and over, from the front door, from the hallway, from inside the walls. They came at random times now, 12 o'clock, 12:47, 1:11, and each time they did, his phone would buzz. Another voicemail, another warning. Always from the same anonymous voice, always escalating. You can't ignore it forever. It feeds on patterns. Fear is a pattern. Soon it will pretend to be someone you love. Don't listen. Don't speak. Don't open. Saturday, 11:50 p.m. Liam stood by the front door, unshaven, eyes bloodshot, clutching his phone. He wasn't sure why he was doing this anymore. He felt like a rat trapped in a maze where every turn led back to that door. That knock, he hadn't told anyone. Who would believe him? He hadn't called the police. What would he say? A ghost is knocking on my door after midnight? He hovered over his voicemail inbox, dreading the next message. And then it came. 11:58 p.m. Buzz. Unknown number. One new voicemail. He played it. But this time, it wasn't the usual voice. It was his voice. Liam, it's me. I know this doesn't make sense, but I'm you, just further along. It gets in, eventually, no matter what you do. But I think I think I've figured out how to stop it. You have to answer. Just once. Tonight. Please, just trust me. Liam's blood ran cold. He dropped the phone. Outside the door, the knock came. Software 3 slow knocks. 12 a.m. And for the first time, he almost opened it. Liam stared at the front door. His hand hovered over the knob. Just 3 feet separated him from whatever was on the other side. You have to answer, the voicemail had said. It's me. I'm you. The knock echoed again, quieter this time, almost pleading. 12:01 a.m. He clenched his jaw and stepped back. No, he whispered. I don't trust you. The voicemail could be a lie. Maybe the thing outside was imitating his voice now. It had already knocked from inside the house once. Maybe this was another trick. More psychological warfare. His fingers trembled. He grabbed the baseball bat and backed away slowly. From behind the door came a single sentence. Liam, if you don't open it now, we both die. He froze. That was his voice. But not just the voice. It had his hesitation, his cadence, even the slight rasp he got when his anxiety flared. It was perfect. And terrifying. Because deep down, Liam almost believed it was really him. He turned off the light and ran to his bedroom, heart punching his ribs. Behind him, the knocking continued. But it never grew louder. It stayed slow, steady, rhythmic, like a heartbeat echoing through the walls. Morning light saved him. The knocking had stopped around 4 a.m. He knew because he hadn't slept. He just sat in the corner of his room with the bat in his lap, watching shadows shift on the walls, trying to keep his sanity intact. He checked the voicemail again in daylight. You have to answer. He recorded himself reading the same line and played it back. It didn't match, not even close. That wasn't his voice. It was too perfect, like an AI impersonation or a doppelganger with vocal cords tuned by demons. And worst of all, the message had disappeared. By 10 a.m., the voicemail was gone, deleted, no trace in call history, inbox, or backup, like it had never existed. Liam tried to go outside that afternoon, just to breathe fresh air, to feel normal again. But when he turned the knob to leave, the door didn't budge. It was unlocked, unbarricaded, but something resisted from the other side, like invisible pressure, not mechanical, personal. Like the space itself didn't want him to leave. He slammed into it, cursed, shoved with all his weight. Nothing. His windows wouldn't open either. He tried breaking one with a hammer, glass spider-webbed, but didn't fall apart. Almost like plexiglass, but thicker, stronger. He was trapped. The phone buzzed at 11:57 p.m. He didn't want to look, but he did. Unknown number. One new voicemail. He pressed play. This is how it starts. The place becomes a mouth. Walls will speak. Shadows will move. But you still must not answer. Not even if it cries. Especially not if it cries. It wants in. But once it's in, it wears your skin. Liam clutched the phone until his knuckles turned white. 12:03 a.m. No knock this time, just scratching, like fingernails dragging slowly along the inside of the walls. Then whispering. Low, incoherent. Liam lay under the covers, trembling like a child. The voices grew louder, more defined. You're already dead. You answered once. You just don't remember. Come outside. The air tastes like you. Let us wear you. He grabbed his phone and tried calling 911. No signal. He tried again. Nothing. Every contact in his phone had been replaced by one name. Me, and every message thread now read the same sentence. Let me in. He powered off the phone, but even after it shut down, it buzzed in his hand. Once, twice, then 3 times, then silence. He woke up in the bathtub, clothed, soaked, trembling. The shower curtain was drawn, and light leaked through like some veil between worlds. He didn't remember getting in. The faucet dripped steadily. Plink, plink, plink. He reached for the curtain. Knock. He froze. It was closer than the door. Knock. Directly across from the tub. Something was knocking on the bathroom mirror. Liam's chest heaved. He held his breath and slowly pulled the curtain aside. The mirror was fogged up. 3 prints, handprints, appeared on the glass. Slowly, deliberately. Then words. "Let me out." He screamed. He ran to the living room. His apartment looked wrong now, slightly stretched. Angles were warped. Walls leaned inward like they were inhaling. He sat in the middle of the floor, bat in his hands, whispering to himself. "I didn't open it. I didn't open it." 11:58 p.m. The phone buzzed. He didn't touch it. It buzzed again, then a 3rd time, and then finally, the landline rang. He didn't own a landline. The sound came from the kitchen. An old rotary phone now sat on the counter, cord twisting like veins. It rang again, again, again. He couldn't stop himself. He picked it up. "Hello?" he whispered. "Thank you for answering." The voice was his, but not alive, deadened, as if recorded on a decaying cassette. Liam threw the phone across the room. It didn't break. It simply vanished in midair. That night, the knocks came from multiple directions. The front door, the kitchen cabinets, the hallway ceiling, even under his bed. Every time he moved, the knocking followed, always in sets of 3, always just after midnight, sometimes slow and hollow, sometimes rapid and desperate, and sometimes silent. Just the feeling of a knock inside his chest, like an echo in his bones. Sunday morning, he found new scratches on the walls, 3 vertical slashes, each about 4 feet long. They bled faintly, like red ink drawn on wet paper. And worse, he found a Polaroid photo stuck to his mirror. It showed him, standing at the door, opening it. His face was missing in the photo. Just a smear of shadow. At the bottom, someone had scrawled in black marker, "You already let it in." Liam dropped the photo and screamed. 11:57 p.m. came again. He was losing track of time, of days, of logic. The apartment no longer felt like a place. It felt like a trap. The voicemail came, but this one wasn't a warning. It was a countdown. 1 more night. Then it doesn't need your permission. 1 more knock, and the rule breaks. You should have opened the door when it was still wearing your voice. 12 a.m. Liam waited. The knocks didn't come. Instead, he heard laughter. Children's laughter. Faint at first, then louder, echoing through the vents. And then, a baby crying. A voice mimicking his mother's lullaby. The one he hadn't heard since she died 10 years ago. He wept into his hands. They weren't just knocking now, they were inside memories. Then, a whisper, right behind him. "Liam, don't look behind you." His breath caught. He didn't move. His eyes stayed fixed forward as tears streamed down his cheeks. He felt the floor shift under him. The walls pulsed. And then, knock, right behind his head. On the inside of the living room wall. He bolted for his room and slammed the door shut, sobbing, whispering the words over and over. "Do not answer. Do not answer." Outside his door, a voice replied in his own shaky voice. "But what if I already did?"